Now let's take a look at the use of the Workspace browser. So the Workspace browser is essentially a browser window that's designed to allow us to have some extra tools as we search files. It's great for databasing sounds and sound effects and using sound libraries. That is really strong. We can also see there's track presets that we could utilize inside of here for our channel strips and things like that we can bring about. But if we go and just actually pull out the same file that we had on the desktop a second ago, we're going to have to go through the hard drive, the internal hard drive directory. So it's kind of a weird process, but we're going to go to HD, to the users. You should see a username that looks familiar to you. Inside of that, we see the desktop folder. And then there's the assignment 2.2. And there are the clips. What's different about this is the process is going to be a drag and drop a lot in the same, but we actually get to do some specific things, and we get more information from this file, size, the length, all that. We actually get to audition it to tempo of our target incoming or like intended goal session. So the original BPM for these clips, just because I know it, was BPM equals, or quarter note equals 115. And the session I can see is quarter note equals 160. So if I audition this, I should be able to hear it at tempo of the session to know if I like it or not. And then I can drag it in and it's going to bring it to that tempo, or it's at least going to give me the option to bring it to that tempo. So let's take a quick look. Now, the way that this works is if we have this metronome active, it will do it to tempo. If we deactivate it, it should send us back to the original tempo as we audition. The major benefit here is this will actually lock any loops that we bring into the intended target tempo, and it gives us a chance to actually audition them. So now if I bring that guitar in, going to this session that's at 160, by dragging it and dropping it, it's going to ask me, do I want to import the original tempo, or do I want to use the tempo that we're targeting here on the way in? So I could actually switch it to the imported tempo, the original tempo of the song. It's going to shift the tempo of my session. But in this instance, I'm going to hit Don't Import, and it should lock me to 160. Now, if I slide it back to the left, the beginning of the timeline, I should hear it now sped up at 160. And also, additionally, it immediately puts it in a warp mode that allows me to then change tempo. So if I decided, 160 is just too fast, let's go to 130. I'm going to double click on my tempo here and type in 130, and we should see a change and hear it change. Now, the other beautiful part about this, which is way beyond the stuff that you're doing right now, but at least to kind of give you an idea, if I open up the tempo map, which is this drop down here, and I use my pencil tool, I can actually draw in the tempo of my choosing, and now my audio file is going to follow suit. And then you hear it fall off to a place that it's like, the tempo's too slow for the actual media to keep up, or actually to sound appropriate based on its sample rate. So that's why it dies off that way. And just to give you a good example of like why the Workspace browser is actually a really beneficial tool, and that's why we use it. It gives us a lot of options on the way in, and we can really audition those things and then just bring them in and start utilizing them in that way.